Hi, I'm Greg from RV Haulers. This is a training video for my customers on how to utilize one of our RV haulers to load a smart car. I'm going to be taking you through a few of the safety steps and most importantly, how to get this thing loaded as fast as you can and unloaded as quickly as possible. Join me. The first thing we want to do is get everything opened up. So we're going to open up the jockey boxes, the storage boxes, and one of the goals of our loading process is to avoid walking from one side of the RV hauler to the other. We want to minimize our steps and minimize our movements and be as efficient as we can for when we load and unload. First, I want to talk to you about where to place your RV hauler. Please give some consideration to, making sure we have enough room for our ramps, that we have room to maneuver, that we're not blocking any kind of roads. And the other thing that I'd like to mention is the orientation of your RV hauler. If possible, it's really nice if we can have the passenger side of the RV hauler slightly downhill from the driver's side. You'll see why that's helpful in a moment. Now, I'm not talking about having a 6-inch slope. If you can find an inch or two, it helps with the safety as well as with the loading of the smart car. If necessary, if you got a flat spot, maybe drive on a 2x6 or something like that, just to give us that 1.5 inches of height on the driver's side. Let's open up all of our storage boxes. So we'll start on the driver's side, open up this storage box. Also, we'll open the ramp storage. We're also going to open up the jockey boxes. That's where I tend to store some of the tools that I use for loading. So we open up this door so we have access to our winch, and in here I will always keep 2 of my wheel straps. I'll get them out so that they're not in the way. Hang them up. We'll open up this storage box, and here's where I store my winch arms. So the first one, the L-shaped one, goes with the wheel pointing down. And the second arm goes in the top. I'll also grab my ladder support. So here on the passenger side is where I usually have the ladder installed. So we'll pull that out. Oh, sorry about the squeak. So now I've got a nice way for getting up and down on the bed. Now, first, make sure you've got your chocks installed on the passenger side. We need to make sure that when we load this car, they're able to nestle against those and there's no risk of the car going off the other side. So grab a hold of one of the ramps and pull it out about 2/3 or 3/4 of the way and set it down. So let it go. What I do is I reach my hands all the way through. Now, if you're someone who wants to wear gloves, this would be the time to put them on. But reach all the way down and slide it out and place the ramps far enough away from the RV hauler so that when we open the ramp won't strike the RV hauler. And we'll take the second ramp out now. Just an aside, if you do see a side view of this RV hauler named Logan actually has 3 ramps in here. This one is designed that at some time in the future the owners may want to put 3 ramps here and load a trike. But again, pull it about 3/4 of the way out, reach all the way through so you know you're grabbing that lower ramp, pull it out, and make sure you take it far enough away that it isn't going to hit the truck when you fold this ramp open. Now, this angled piece is the one that we want to place on the side of the bed. I'll open up my ramps and I'll flip them away from me. Then grab the ramp near the little wedge piece, work from this end. Remember, there's a big pinch point right there. So you don't want the ramp to be opening up and perhaps catching anyone. So grab it near this end, slide it or pull it towards the truck, and there's a bolt here and a hole. You want to take a look underneath, find that hole. And the other thing we want to do is get our ramps approximately parallel, and we want to get them perpendicular at 90 degrees to the bed. I do it by eyeballing. I'll open up my second ramp. Again, for safety, watching your toes, flip away from you, grab near the front edge, slide it, find that hole, and again, get it perpendicular to the bed. Now what I do myself is, there's checker plate on this bed, and I have it installed perpendicular. So when I'm standing back here looking at my ramps, I'm able to look at that pattern on the bed and tell if I've got my ramps installed the way I want. There we go. Okay. Now some other notes about safety. Anytime you start putting these ramps out and getting your smart car ready, you're going to get an audience. I really recommend that you observe what's in that direction. Make sure that people aren't standing there, kids aren't riding their bikes. You know, we are moving a small car that's close to a ton, and make sure that the audience members are staying away from the winch cable and from the direction of the car in case that cable may break. The next thing we want to do is get our smart car ready for loading on the bed. Again, remember, I'm not going back and forth from one side of the truck to the other. I'm doing everything that I can here on this side of the truck first, then I'm going to go to the other side. So still while I'm here, I'm going to deal with the smart car. What I want to do is back it up to these ramps, and that rear wheel should be about 1 inch inside this outside edge of the ramp. So I'll get in my smart car now, start it up, put the window down. Also at this point, I'll reach through from inside and I'll fold the passenger side mirror in, leave this door open, put it in reverse, and I'm observing that this rear wheel, I lean out of the car and I'm observing that this rear wheel lines up about 1 inch. There we go. Inside the outside edge of that ramp. Now, I will put my parking brake on, leave the car in neutral, leave the door open, and I'll take you to the passenger side next. So set your winch to free spool, which means we can grab a hold of the winch cable and just pull it out. We don't want to pull out too little, we don't want to pull out too much. What I've done is I've measured with my arms. I'll pull out a whole bunch here. And I've measured with my arms. I know how much I need. I need 4.5 arm lengths. That's 1, 2, 3. Let's see how I did here. 4. I want to get about, get about half of my body, so about that much. I'll put the cable in the lower pulley along with the safety catch that's there. Put it in the top pulley. And I only need to get this part way across the bed so I can reach it. So I don't want to totally zing it and maybe break my back window if I've got too much line out. Give it just a little bit. And, oh, and remember, almost forgot, lock that winch back in drive so it's not free spooling. Now while I'm standing in between the ramps, also reach in at this point and get your winch control out. Those of you that have the wireless winch. You can have that in your pocket already. Make sure you put it outside the ramp. We're going to be working from this side. And while I'm here, I'll grab my wheel straps. Oops, standing on it. Hang them up so they're ready. And my wheel chocks are here. Now I also tend to keep, if you're a person who uses gloves, I have them handy. And my wrench. So let's see how I did. So we're pretty good. We got just enough to grab a hold of that smart card. Now what I want to do is take up the slack on the line. Anytime you run a winch, you want to have tension on it. You don't have to be putting, all your weight on it, but just a little bit of friction. Remember, this is a synthetic line, and while you're doing this, just make an observation on your winch line. Make sure that there's no frays or cuts. If this is ever damaged, it could break, when there's lots of weight on the car, or weight of the car on the ramps, and have it roll down. So please be safe. Make a little inspection of the cable. But I'm pulling in and get the line just barely taut. So I don't have a lot of tension on it, but at this point in time, I'm going to make one final check on the passenger side just to make sure that my cable here is running right inside the pulleys, or the shivs as we call them, that it's not jammed, there's nothing in the way. And lastly, I will take up just that last little bit of slack just so I know that the car won't roll. So there we go. Now, release the brake in your car, close the door, and we're going to start to winch. Remember, keep people away from the front. Also, give yourself a little bit of space between the winch line. What we're going to observe is the car needs to travel up the ramp evenly. We don't want it to start to wander left and right. But what we can do, the reason I had you leave the window down on the driver's side, is if we do observe that the car is starting to go this way, which it is, it's starting to move a little bit to this edge, what I can do is steer from here. The car's not running, it's just in neutral, but I'll turn the wheel a little bit. The key here is do only a little bit at a time. Don't try to be too aggressive with your steering. It takes time for it to make a difference coming up the ramps. I'm going to steer back the way just a little bit. Now when you get the car to this height, of course I can't reach up inside the steering wheel anymore. If you need to make some little adjustments with the wheel, you can actually push the wheel from here left and right. So I'll get to this point where this mirror hasn't yet crossed the plane of the bed, the vertical plane. I'll do one more check on the other side, make sure my mirror's folded in, make sure nothing is getting close. But remember, make a wide circle around your ramps. Don't walk right in front. Observe that, yep, car's going up nicely. Now, let me tell you about something that's going to happen. Remember, I purposely tilted the bed so that the driver's side was about an inch higher or a couple inches higher. I do that on purpose. When this wheel leaves the ramp, this car is going to roll or nestle against those chocks gently. What's nice is when the bed comes up here, I'll show you, I'll get just off of the ramp, does a little roll, and it bumps against those ramps, or chocks, sorry. But the car, by default, is rolling that way. I don't have to worry about it rolling down the ramps. You know, if someone unhooks that cable on me, the car is going to stay on the bed. Now come back to the passenger side, and the first thing that I will always do is I'll get one wheel basket on the car. The metal clip goes towards the front, and of course it's going to go on top of the wheel with this section. These are this upper strap. What I'll do is I will put it on, I'll grab a hold of the strap like this, and I put it over top of the wheel like that. I want to also reach in from in behind the wheel and on the side, kind of get it even. And we'll start with getting the hook on and pull the tension, put tension on this, kind of pull up the slack, pull on this, pull back here. I will also, if I just wiggle it forwards and backwards, it takes up that tension naturally. We don't want any twists in the strap. Now what we need to do is put this strap down in between the winch. Now don't pull it all the way through. We want to have enough slack in here that it wraps around the winch so we have a good grip on it. We also want to make sure we don't have too much sticking out here, because we'll get this tight, and if we have slack sticking out, it'll sit here and flap against the side of the bed and it'll scratch it over many miles. So what I find is you leave about 10 inches hanging out the bottom. You've got a little bit of an arc up here, and by hand I'll tighten it down. And you'll see this tag end has pulled in quite a bit. I'll always have a screwdriver sitting here, put it through, and give it a couple extra clicks. Now this doesn't have, you don't have to get a big bar in here and see like the semi, owners do and crank down on it. A little short little screwdriver, get a little bit of tension on here is enough. Remember, we're going to be tying down the front as well, which is going to pull it back and put tension on as well. While I'm here, so now I know that this car is not going to roll. Can't get off the bed. I will use my hand control on this side to pull the winch line. It's okay to leave 2 or 3 inches hanging down so that you don't have to pull it all the way in and put tension on it. It's not going anywhere. My 2 winch arm pieces go away. While I'm here, remember, I want to avoid going back and forth on the other side of the car. Grab a hold of this winch, or this basket, this wheel basket. Attach the front metal hook. Pull left and right to take up the slack. Pull it through, leave about 8 or 10 inches. A little bit of, one more. There we go. We're done on this side. Take your screwdriver with you. Now to put the ramps away, we want to do it in reverse order. We want them to go in the way they came out. What I'm avoiding here is doing a bunch of gymnastics, turning and spinning. But this is, with practice, this is how you fold up your ramps. Lift it up, put them back together, reach all the way through the ramps, get it to the right height to slide in the opening, and push them in. So again, that was lift up, fold it towards you, the hinge point. Now reach all the way through. And close this up. Now we're going to put wheel chock in place. I will have one wheel chock here. I have the other wheel chock right there. And it's up to you the tool you want to use. I include a 3/4 inch wrench. What I've also enjoyed buying and owning is a 3/8 cordless ratchet. Grab your bolts. There's 4 holes here. Get them hand started. You know, make sure you get at least 1 or 2 turns in so you know you're not cross threading them. Now, just a note about my smart car. Mine is one of the oldest smart cars. It's actually shorter. So I've got this bed set up for the newer style of smart cars and the wider style of smart cars, not the short one. So you see that it's got quite an aggressive angle. What you can do is use just 2 bolts and put this chock closer if you have one of the newer smart cars, if it's in your budget. So when I train my customers, it's nice to get into a routine. At this point in time, people are coming up, you know, they feel more secure, they see the ramps are away, they see the cars on there, it's not going anywhere. They want to talk to you. And I highly recommend that you kindly let those folks know that, hey, my wife and I, or I've got a routine and I really got to just finish this up, because you don't want to forget anything. So sometimes there'll be a little bit of play in this upper strap. It's really just to keep it from completely falling off. A lot of folks will use straps that are just a single strap that goes over top of the wheel. I've had these baskets custom made. They do work with larger size smart car tires as well. There's no front and back. They're all the straps are all the same size. That's why you see a little bit more play in this front one, is the front tires on smart cars are smaller. So we got everything tied down, everything snugged down. I'll put my tools away, close up my storage boxes. Of course, lock them if you need to, or if you wish to. And I'll put my ladder away on the other side, and there's our smart car loaded. However, we're not done. We need to get the smart car off. So let me show you that order of events. What I will do is, again, keeping to the theme of avoiding going back and forth on either side of the car. First, I will open up my storage boxes all the way around the truck to gain access to my tools and gain access to my storage. I'll do the passenger side, be right back. To Now I know I've got wheel straps on the back of the car. It's safe to work on this side. It's safe to take these off. Again, try to make sure you've got the driver's side of the bed a little bit higher. The fast way to release this is with the palm of your hand, just push this in. And I'll show you on that side how the wheel strap comes off the easiest. Pull the wheel strap off, unhook it from the D-ring. Remember to fold the D-ring flat inside the bed. Put your strap in a convenient place to get it when we want to load again. So push this in. You can see it spun. While holding it in, pull the strap out. Then I grab the center strap and I pull it over off the side of the wheel. Put the D-ring flat. Put that away. Now we'll take our wheel chocks off. Now, before I do anything else, I myself have the routine. I like to put the parking brake on in my car so I know it can't roll. Brake is on. Pull out the ramps 3/4 of the way. Hands in. Walk far enough away from the RV hauler that when you open them up it won't scratch. Open it up. Flip them away from you so you don't land on your toes. Get my perpendicular ramp placement again. Now I'm safe to take off the rear straps. Now I train my customers to, windshield wipers are on. I train my customers to drive the smart car off of your RV hauler. What I'm going to be watching is out the driver's window. I'm going to be observing that my front wheel goes down the center of the ramp. As long as my ramps are parallel to each other, I just watch that front wheel go down the middle of the ramp. Now, when you get to the bottom of the ramp, don't go fast. You want to go nice and slow so that the suspension of the car doesn't compress and rub the bottom edge of your bumper. So when you get right here, just go nice and slow and you will clear. And we're off. Unloading is way faster than loading. But if there's two of you and you both have your routine and your jobs and you share the work, it's done pretty quickly. Lock everything back up. There we go. Smart car offloaded. Thanks for watching.